Hello YouTube, this is Ben Gessel. Well, this video is going to be very short. I probably won't have time to make any videos until probably Sunday. Maybe hopefully one or two more soon though. Yeah, like I said, this video is going to be really short. Probably not really super sweet. But it's just for anybody who needs to get a few things straightened out. A vast majority of everybody here, I'm sure, watching all these videos, are just fine. So, to the many, I apologize for what I'm about to say to the very few who might watch this. Okay, that being said, let's look at something that we all should understand very clearly by the time we get to at least the age of 12 or 13 or so. Really. Racism. Definition of racism, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary. A belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. That's the first definition. Second definition. A doctrine or political program based on the assumption of racism and designed to execute its principles, also known as, say, Nazism, right? Okay, white supremacy. That's one example. There are others. The third definition, racial prejudice or discrimination. Okay, so here, this is the definition of racism. A belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race, plus the doctrines that, programs that government might take, and racial prejudice are actually, in real life, acting in such a way that you are being racist by showing discrimination or prejudice because of your belief in the superiority of one race over another. Everything else that you hear about race and racism and all that other stuff, that isn't this. It might have some relation on one level or another to this, but it is not racism. It just is not. Okay? I'd also venture to say that unless it's extremely obvious, and by extremely obvious I mean, let's say that you're a black person and you go to Mississippi and you are in a restaurant and somebody throws you a banana and starts acting like a chimpanzee, right? Starts treating like you're an ape. Okay, that's racism, obviously, right? Racism, though, is not, he's looking at me funny, or why isn't that person talking to me more? Why aren't they talking to me more? Is he racist? Racism is when somebody demeans your humanity, makes you feel like an animal if you're black, or some other race that is one views as being inferior. Some people consider, I don't know, Hispanics sometimes inferior. Sometimes some people consider white people even to be inferior. It can go any direction you want it to. I don't think I need to mention any more about this. So if anybody has any questions about what racism means, please look it up in the dictionary and think about it a little bit before just chucking it out there like some juvenile idiot. And again, I'm sorry for all those folks that don't need to hear this. I'm talking to the few here. All right, you guys have a good day. Talk to you later.